Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Krista White. I'm the Director of Marketing here at Crow Canyon, and we're really excited today to introduce you to the new NITRO Studio mobile app. And I'm joined today by James Restivo, our VP of Product Development, and I'll hand things over to him in just a moment here. But just a couple housekeeping things before we jump into it. Make sure to use that question box there on the right side if you have any questions. We are here to answer your questions, happy to engage with you as we share all these fun updates here. And also there will be a recording of this. You'll be able to get it on our YouTube channel as well as on our website if you look under resources and workshops. So I'm really excited personally to see what we have here for the new NITRO Studio mobile app. James, are you ready to give us our sneak peek?
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, sneak peek is the right right word at the moment in time. We are still in preview testing mode for the app, so this is a preview of what you're going to be able to use down the line. And we're still adding in some functionality, still adding in a few details, but I wanted to kind of give you a peek behind the covers and show you what we're working on, what we've got going so far with it, and I think it fits in pretty nicely with our especially with our new Nitro Help Desk release. I think it's going to really tie in quite nicely with that piece. So what you're seeing on the screen, you can see my phone. This is actually my phone, so if there are any messages that come up while I'm on this, I apologize in advance. Hopefully I set things to do not disturb, but maybe something will sneak through, so I do apologize if anything pops up that is not part of the webinar. But essentially what we've taken is this mobile shell where we can show elements of Nitro in the mobile device, and that can be forms, that can be your sites, that could be your list views, and what we've configured in here today is our employee portal that is geared towards the mobile device. So this is a mobile portal that is designed specifically for the use with our Nitro Help Desk, but we're using that as our demonstration thing today. So I'll walk through some of the things you can do. It's pretty straightforward, but I'll just kind of walk through some of the elements you have on here with the portal that you can have your end users use with the Nitro Help Desk if you're using that. And they can just click on the NITRO Studio mobile app, which it's not quite ready yet. We're still working on getting it in the Play Store, still working on getting it in the iTunes Apple Store. Not quite there yet, but we're working on it. They put a lot of hoops in the way. I'll tell you, it's taken a while to get things out there, but that's good. They want to vet the apps that go out on their marketplace and make sure that they're good. So this is great. What we're going to look at is essentially what an end user who's working for an organization and wanting to submit a support ticket, or this could be any kind of potential request or things like that in their mobile device. They pull up the mobile app, they can see certain things. They'll have right at the top, you can have some notifications if you have any policies or any informational messages or outages. You can put those right on top, and you can see it's going to load that. And I did not put a description in here for this one, but you'll see you just click on it and it shows it right there. And then we've given them some quick actions that you can go and click on. So if you want to go search the knowledge base, they can pop that open and click into the box, type in their search, or click on one of the existing articles, and it's going to pop open and they can take a look at that. Now, if that doesn't suffice for what they need, they can come back over here and submit a new ticket. So it gives them that interface for submitting a ticket. Again, this is built on Nitro Forms, so you have a lot of flexibility in what you show here. You can add in actions, you can add in other fields and other things. And of course, you all know that because you use Nitro. So they could submit their ticket. They can come in here and view their tickets, ones that they have submitted. So here is a ticket that was submitted. It's still open. You can see all the information about that right in that mobile interface. They can edit that ticket, and right now we have it configured for just showing the work log, but you could configure that to show other things in there as well. Enter a note and then hit save, and then they're good to go. And then you can look at any of their other tickets in the same kind of manner. So you can click on the X. And so I'm actually using my phone. This is my, like I said, this is my actual phone that's on the screen here. So I'm going through and using my finger, just kind of scrolling through and clicking on the different pieces. There's also the service catalog that they can go over to take a look at. If you're using that in our help desk, you see this is optimized for the mobile device. So you can click through to those different tab headers and check in on those. Pricing, for instance. And then we can close out that, close out service catalog, and then they can come over and search tickets. So just a couple of things, and these are all, these, as you know, these are all web parts that are part of NITRO, the search ticket web part. You got the reports in there. You've got the view list of views in there. Pretty much any of those can be added to a page, and that page can then be connected over to this mobile app, and now you've got that in that mobile app device. So it's really easy to kind of show a page in there, multiple pages in there with the various links in your mobile app and your mobile device. You see you got a hamburger menu over here as well, which has a lot of the same things we just looked at, but it's mobile first, mobile forward app. Working on a Ducey question about notifications. So this is why it's still kind of in beta mode. We're working on getting those kind of notifications where we can push a notification for the app, whether it's an update, whether it's an update about a ticket, whether it's an update about something else that's going on in that site. We want to try to get those notifications pushed through, and that's one of the things we're working on. And if it doesn't get in the first iteration of this app, it'll be, we can always update that as we go. But that's one of those things we are going to be working on as we go forward with this, is adding in those kind of push notifications. Another thing we're really pushing to get going is an offline mode, so someone can come in here and use this and create a ticket and submit it. It just kind of hold it in the app, and then once they get back online, it can submit it into the system. Or if it's an update, they can go and make their update, and then it'll go back into the SharePoint system once they get back online. So those are the kind of things that we're trying to push there. So again, very kind of beta release in a sense. It's so kind of beta testing this, adding in new features. But yeah, certainly, feel free to write to us or send us with any new features that you're looking to add into it. Just to show you real quick on the adding of a site, you can go over here. We're working, again, this is one of those things we're working on to get this dark screen a bit more visible, but you can hit the plus button, and now you can add in your connection over to a site. So we got the name of the site, we've got the URL we can put in there. You can have an image attached to it. They have these nice colors that you can add to it as well, so you can make it more colorful. You can make it more, give a little more pizzazz to it. So when the user comes into their app, they'll see a list of list of sites in here that they can click into. Pardon me, and they'll be able to see it. So again, we're working on this screen. You can kind of see those sites there. They're a little a little hard to see, but that's one thing, again, something we're working on to get in place. But they just click on their site, they pull it up, and now they can go through and take the, click the buttons or click the actions that they need to click. So again, it gives you that mobile first, kind of mobile forward interface for your end users, and we're working on the technician side of things as well, so that when you're if it's like help desk or just a general user coming in, they'll have access to the same stuff in the mobile app. So really pretty exciting stuff. I mean, I think we're pushing forward in the mobile world. We're it's getting it out there. So I think there's more to come. There's a lot more things we can add in here for sure, and we will as we move forward with this. But just want to kind of give you guys a sneak peek, a sneak preview of what we're working on, this is it. This is what we're working on. Now I also wanted to and certainly any questions, we can come back to the mobile app. We can take a look at that again if anyone has any questions on it. But that's really the quick overview of what that's all about. But I also wanted to take the time today to talk about some of the other things we've done with NITRO recently in addition to the mobile app. And this is what I kind of want to move these workshops towards, not just focusing on, particular configuration of something, although we will still focus on that, but also talk to you guys about what we've been working on. So we have our roadmap, we have our version log, we have our version release notes, but I also want to show you, maybe go through some of those things in detail. And so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to jump over to my desktop screen. So give me a moment. All right, so now we're looking at the desktop. And I'm going to walk through some of the things and maybe give you a little demo of some of the things we've been working on with Nitro in general. We've made some improvements with Nitro Forms, with custom actions. I'll walk through that. You can see there's the newer version numbers that we've released recently. That should be out there for on-prem as well. So you should have, if you're an on-prem customer, you should have these things over there as well. One of the big things we've worked on is the signature column, where you now can invalidate a form if a column value changes after the form is signed. And so whether it's changed through quick edit or through some automated process or through the form itself, now we're going to be able to invalidate that signature whenever that column is changed or any columns are changed. And those columns will be defined in that columns to sign field here. So you identify your signature pad column, and then what fields changing would invalidate that signature. So in your form, you might have multiple signature fields, and you might have multiple groups of fields that maybe sign off on one part and then sign off on another part. So different signature fields could have different invalidation criteria, but that gives you a way to do that with that signature pad column. The other big thing we released with Nitro Forms is the Nitro Lookup Search, where now you can use refiners in the SharePoint refiners in your search so that you can target what fields to search in your Nitro Lookup. So again, this is coming from that form. You have a lookup dropdown, and you're going to have a search magnifying glass next to it, part of the configurations of that Nitro Lookup. You can click on that magnifying glass, and you can search through things. The way it works before this enhancement is that it would search everything in that lookup list, which you may not want to pull back certain fields, or you may not want to pull back certain items. This gives you a option to target which fields to search in that Nitro Lookup. And also gives you, another enhancement we made here was to filter the drop down's already filtered in the Nitro Lookup, but now the search is also going to be filtered. So that was something we didn't have in place before this, it would search all the items in the list. Now it's going to look at the view that's configured for that Nitro Lookup and will only pull back items that are in that filtered view. We've added some things with Nitro List Search, where you can now kind of tokenize what the in the phrase, whatever's entered in that search box could be searched on individually. That each word will be searched on individually if you have a phrase in there, versus the whole phrase being searched all at once. So that's another option we've added in to this newest version. And the big one, I think, is this custom actions search. So we have this query list search. And the way query list works today with our custom actions and workflows is to go and pull back a list of items that are static, in the sense of, like, you've configured it, only pull back and work on items that are related to the current item, or only go back, look for certain particular items. The query list search will actually pop up a search box for the user to interact with and return only the items that should be returned. So if you want to take a look at this, this is in our, have this configured over here. Kind of the way this would work is if you have your, someone's out on PTO. So that's the example I like to use. Someone's out on PTO and you have to reassign their tickets, or you have to reassign their approval tasks, or something of that nature. You can have a custom action that will go and search those items and reassign them. So in this case, what we're going to do, you can just select any of the items, any one of them, and it's going to activate that custom action. We can click on that. Now, it doesn't matter which item we clicked on, because what I can do here, you can see I'm going to search for James, and this is only searching the assigned staff field, and that's part of the configurations. You can define which fields it can search. So it's searching the assigned staff field, and we know James is on PTO, so we're going to have to select his items, select all of them, and we're going to have to reassign them. and you're going to reassign them to Ryan because we know he's going to work on them. So you hit OK, you'll see it's assigned over here to James, but close, refresh, now it's assigned to Ryan. So it gives you a way to kind of pull those items in and take action on those items that get returned in that search, and only those items that you select, right? So if you wanted to do that again, well, now we're going to search for all the items that are assigned to Ryan, which is fine. And we're going to take those to the SharePoint site access and password reset. You can see we select just 2 of the items. And we're actually going to assign these over to John because, you know, Ryan said he was too busy today. We're going to reassign those over to John Smith. Boom, done. So yeah, so it doesn't matter which item you select, you can go and do the search and take action on those items that get returned in that search. And you can see there's a lot of applications for that. This is just one particular potential application for that new feature. Some of the other things we added in, let's see, we have you know, different settings in that query list search, just to kind of show you what it looks like here. You know, increase this a little bit. So you do, you know, query builder will help you restrict what gets returned in that search. So that's another way to filter the search is use the query builder or use a list view. You can return 1 or more items. You can do item versus item collection. And then the columns to search, you can identify or specify which columns you actually want to go and search in that when you're doing the search in the query. You can make sure item selection is mandatory. If it's not, I guess you could just not select anything. The action would just move on. It could just be part of a whole host of other actions. And then you give a error message. How, you know, what gets returned in that search. You can specify what fields to show. You can specify if there's any sort order. If you want to just restrict the number of items that get returned, you could do that as well. And then if you wanted to use what gets returned in some kind of variable, you could do that as well. So you can, you know, if it's an item, one item, you could map values from that one item into a variable and then use that later on in your custom action processing. Again, this is based on what gets searched, not based on some static query that you'd configure in the query list, you know, query list action. A couple other cool things we've added, the new join function. We're having trouble with if it's a lookup type field, like a person or group field, and you have an array or number of items in it, and you try to map those items into a different field or into a single line of text field, perhaps, it would come up with some issues. So this join function basically takes that array of users. So it's like it's James Restivo, Krista White, Ryan Stefani, and one person or group field. It's going to be able to separate those out and basically convert them to a string of text so that you can use that string of text in your updates and further on in that workflow. Another new thing we added in NITRO workflows is we have a way to export to Excel. So you go and export all the details of your workflows. Let me just kind of show you this in action. Let's go to my workflows. So hit that export to Excel. You'll see that new feature there, and it's going to eventually export it to an Excel file, which I'll pull open. It should go to the downloads folder. I think this one has a lot of workflows so it's taking some time. There's pause for a minute. I actually, here, let me pull this up. Workflows. Yeah, here, I'll show you what this looks like. All right, so this is what gets returned. You got the workflow, workflow name, you know, what type of experience was it created in, you know, what's the list name that's working on. So you can sort and get some information here about the workflows. You really have to specify header if that's okay. I'll just do that. Yeah, so you can kind of see what you have for workflows in your site and pull them out and review them, or even save this as like an audit trail. Say at this moment in time, we had these workflows configured on these lists, then come back in, oh, it looks like that workflow got deleted, or we added, come back a few days later, oh, we added XYZ workflows and something's not working, or we're getting duplicate notifications or whatever. Now you can kind of see that comparison between what you had in the system and what you've now configured in the system. So it gives you a way to kind of audit what's in there in the workflows. That's still working. I'm not sure what's going on there. I think that pretty much covers these new things. New join function, a few more workflow details that we've added in. If you're on the workflow screen, you hit that details link, there's going to be a few more things going on there that you can see that you couldn't see before. Yeah, it's like that. So yeah, so those are some of the new features in NITRO that we've added. We got that mobile app for some people who maybe joined a little late. Let me jump back over to that the mobile app. You can see some of the things that you can do here with it. Yeah, I mean it's pretty straightforward. You just configure the mobile app, mobile portal or mobile site that you want people to see. Connect this mobile app to that mobile site, and then you're good to go. For those who joined a little bit late, it's still in preview mode. This is still in beta mode. So we don't have it out there on the Play Store just yet. We don't have it out there on the Apple Store just yet. We're working on it, but just really want to give you guys a quick insight into this is what we're going to be releasing in the not too distant future, very, very soon. Like I said, a few kinks we're going to work out and get it going, but I think it's going to really help you guys with having a mobile interface for your sites and for your NITRO users. So again, appreciate everyone coming on today. If there's any questions anyone has, or if you want demo on anything more specific, certainly let us know, give us a call. We'll be going forward, as I mentioned earlier, I think a lot of these workshops are going to be focused on what are the new features we released in the last month or so. So every kind of month or so, we'll have one of these workshops where we can show you here's what we released, here's what we have new. And then if there's anything specific that I want to go into in more detail, like I did a little bit with the query list search today, we can certainly do that. But that's kind of where I want to go with these. But I appreciate your taking your time today. I'll give you back some of your day. And I will look forward to hearing from all of you and talking to you again soon. All right, thank you, everyone.